Friends, Madridistas, just look at what Kylian Mbappé is doing right now. Hungry, relentless, a real monster in white. In Madrid, they're already calling it CR7 mode. And you know what? These aren't just pretty words. Osasuna, Oviedo, just the first victims. In 2025, Mbappé is simply rewriting history. A brace against Oviedo, of course. The first goal, pure artistry, a pass from Güler, a striker's turn from Kylian, and the ball's in the net. And then another one so the opponents wouldn't get too comfortable. 33 goals in 37 matches this year. 13 times it was Mbappe who opened the scoring in La Liga. 47 goals for Real since the start of last season. He's already surpassed the legend Rafael Martín Vázquez. And that's not all. After the World Cup, Mbappe gained 4 kilos of muscle and now looks like a real predator. Xabi Alonso says, "I love seeing him in this kind of shape." And we understand you, Xabi, 12 goals in the last 7 La Liga matches. This is no longer just a striker. This is a machine built to destroy opponents, and now pay attention. The last time something like this happened at Real, yes, it was him, Cristiano Ronaldo. In the 2014-15 season, the Portuguese scored 19 goals in a row between match days 3 and 12. Mbappe hasn't matched that record yet, but he's on the same path. And now at the start of his second year, Real has officially turned into Kylian Mbappe's Real Madrid. Everything goes through the feet and the mind of our number 10. Statistics out of this world. Of the last 15 goals in La Liga, 12 are his. Only one from Bellingham against Sevilla, one from Jacobo Ramon against Mallorca, and one from Vini against Oviedo. The rest are all Kylian. Even the hat-trick against Barca at Montjuic, his work too. 7 consecutive league games with goals. He's already matched legends like Olmedo, Roque Olsen, Hugo Sanchez and Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ahead of him only Puskas with 8 and Cristiano himself with 10. Friends, we're witnessing the birth of a new Madrid empire named Kylian Mbappé. Real's number 10 has gradually shaped his body to reach its current balance. He did this to adapt to Xabi Alonso's demands, who couldn't count on him at the start of the Club World Cup. Mbappé suffered food poisoning then, losing over 6 kilos. His gaunt look in the gym shocked everyone, but Kylian saw this as a chance to transform his body, and it became evident at the start of the new season. He didn't just regain the lost weight, he turned it into muscle, and he did it naturally during his vacation following the club's special program for players, adding his own activities, tennis, paddle, and outdoor training. Now the real striker looks more sculpted, with extra lower body strength that makes him faster and sharper in his runs and finishes. It showed clearly in the first goal against Real Oviedo, Güler's perfect pass, Mbappe's turn and his trademark finish. Madrid once again found the key in the Frenchman's feet, who's been in rising form since the end of last season, despite the Club World Cup virus problem. All this helped him fully transform from a number 9 into a number 10 for Real. Osasuna and Oviedo defended with tight lines, and this will be a common picture this season in La Liga. Mbappe answered with active play in the center of attack, constantly moving, finding spaces between the lines and tearing apart the opponent's defense. He's returning to the dominant version we saw at PSG, dropping deeper, receiving in midfield, making runs into open space. Mbappe became a breath of fresh air for Xabi Alonso. His goals allowed the coach to experiment tactically and look for new solutions. In just 20 days, Xabi Alonso turned the team from last year's chaotic, individualistic Ancelotti side into a unit that finally plays with intelligence and style. The 3-0 win over Oviedo is yet more proof. Remember how last season we suffered watching the mess on the pitch? Constant stress, loss of control, no ideas, and that's gone now. Real controls the game, attacks rest with the ball on the opponent's half. As a team, dreaming of big trophies should. Xabi teaches the team to play compactly. Everyone, from defenders to attackers, works in pressing. No one wanders off alone. Maximum pressure in the opponent's half, quick ball recovery, and trying to control the game from the first minute. That's his recipe. And now attention, in the game against Oviedo, Xabi made 4 changes to the starting lineup, and they all worked. Carvajal returned after injury and immediately added stability on the right flank, giving Alexander-Arnold a rest. Rudiger replaced Militao in central defense and looked like a real wall. Mastantuono got his first start and added fresh energy on the flank. Brahim stayed on the bench, and finally Rodrigo, starting instead of Vini, to refresh the attack and show the Brazilian that the coach counts on him and that he'll get minutes this season. Against Oviedo it worked perfectly, the hosts couldn't even get out of defense. The team looked fresh and aggressive. Yes, there's still a lack of quick combinations in the final third to break the buses of opponents, but already we saw more play between the lines than in the opening match against Osasuna. Xabi himself admitted after the game, "We dominated more in the first half. In the second it was a bit harder, but the defense held strong. The team is growing and I'm satisfied." Friends Madridistas, just imagine, the Carlos Tartiere Stadium froze when it was revealed. Vinícius on the bench. The last time he didn't start was back in September 2024. For number 7, this was almost forgotten history. He had long gotten used to answering critics and memes with his game and that blazing dribbling that burned defenders alive. But this time the coach gave him half an hour, and friends, Vini put on a show. The scoreboard shows 0-1. Vini comes on, looks a bit nervous at first, but then starts taking over the game, dribbling, attacking, like the old Vini who once shook the football world. 83rd minute, perfect pressing from Tchouaméni and Vinícius. The Brazilian intercepts, switches on the turbo, and delivers a gorgeous assist to Mbappe. 0-2, easy, beautiful, Madrid style. And then celebration by the corner flag, and pure chaos. Vini starts yelling something at the ref for the yellow card for simulation he got minutes earlier. Mbappe comes over laughing, covers his mouth so he doesn't say too much. Then Tchouaméni tried calming him too, but Vini stayed heated for a while. In half an hour, Vini gave a goal and an assist to Mbappe, but his show started even earlier. Dozen cameras caught him sitting on the bench with Militão yawning while the team tried to break Oviedo's defense. After the game, he posted a photo with his goal, captioned, "I'm like this." On the photo, his gesture to the stands, "I'm sending you to the Segunda." The fans had shouted "Tonto, tonto" at him after that yellow. And Vini answered in his own way. Friends, this was Vinícius in all his glory. Goal, assist, emotions, a bit of chaos, and a moment that went around the world. How do you like this return of number 7? Write in the comments, and to the next one. Franco Mastantuono, a guy who had just arrived in Madrid 9 days after his first training session already starting for Real. Imagine, he turns 18, presentation, then 2 matches, 7 training sessions, and full trust from Xabi Alonso. Against Osasuna, he played 23 minutes and now 63 from the start against Oviedo. And friends, these weren't just minutes of stats. This was a player who constantly asked for the ball, carried the game, went into dribbling boldly, and even demanded a penalty in the 15th minute when Dani Calvo grabbed him in the box. The ref and VAR decided there was nothing, but we all saw it. Alonso praises Mastantuono not only in press conferences, he gives him chances where it matters. On the pitch, the last to arrive, the first to get minutes. Against Osasuna, he was the first sub. Against Oviedo, one of 4 new starters. And he delivered. 93% passing accuracy, 37 of 40, 7 duels won, 2 successful tackles, 3 shots on goal. And by the way, friends, if you want this kind of detailed player stats, download the Real Live app and get everything in a couple of clicks. Link in the pinned comment. But what impresses even more is Franco's character. He started on the right but played across the whole front line, always moving, looking for space, taking on the role the team lacked after Kroos and Modric left. Friends, 63 minutes, then we already see why Xabi sees a future in him. This was Franco without fear, without complexes, with the desire to show he's here to stay. Madridistas, how did you like Mastantuono's debut start? Write in the comments because it feels like we're witnessing something big. We may not see fireworks yet, but we feel confident. No goals conceded, minimum stress for fans, and a team slowly turning into a real machine. Ahead, even more intrigue, an attack that will open up, and Mbappé ready to decide matches when the opponent's defense looks impenetrable. Madridistas, it seems last year's chaos is gone. Now we're waiting to see how Xabi Alonso's reel grows with every match day. Like the video if you're impressed by the team's progress, write your thoughts in the comments about the team and Kylian Mbappe's form, and subscribe to our channel. Hala Madrid!